What is up, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about some black metal. Going to rank Gehenna's albums from worst to best. Really awesome band. A little background on them for those of you who don't know. They formed in 1993. They're from Norway. 6 full-length studio albums I'll be ranking here, plus 1 EP, which is the first Spell EP. A lot of fans consider that to be like the debut album, even though technically it's an EP. Still 5 songs, about 26 minutes long, so I'm going to include it. The band was formed by Sanrab, who is the only current original member in the band right now. Versatile player, as well as Dolgar is. He's not in the band anymore, but both guys done vocals, guitar, bass, some keyboards, and a guy named Sir Verada, probably mispronounced all those names, but he was the original drummer, no longer in the band anymore. He was only there for like a year, but very cool band. I think anyone that's a fan of extreme metal will like at least some of this band's stuff because they're pretty diverse sounding. At first they were kind of like symphonic black metal for the first few albums, then like evolved into like a straightforward, like brutal, like classic black metal type of thing, then into some death metal, then back to classic sounding black metal again. So really good band, definitely a top 10 favorite black metal band for me. Just gonna give my opinion here, worst to best. Here we go. Coming in at the bottom is going to have to be Unraveled, their most recent album. Came out in 2013. Pretty tough discography to rank here, so just because this is at the bottom doesn't mean I dislike it, but the overall production and sound of this one, my least favorite. Looking at the track listing, there's 8 songs. A couple of the standouts, I'd say, are the title track, 9 Circles of Torture, and probably Lead to the Pier, or Pyre, however you pronounce that. But this is the first and only album with Sanrab doing all the vocals. That might have something to do with it not being quite as good. But still not a bad album. Unravel, number 7. Next up at number 6, I'm going to go with Murder. This album came out in 2000, and it's their one that leans more towards death metal than black metal. Still a decent bit of black metal elements here, but definitely more of a death metal album. 10 songs, still a lot of pretty good stuff. Looking at the track listing, a couple of my favorites I'd say are Worthy Exit and Devout Dementia. Those two definitely lean more towards black metal than death metal. The title track is cool. Trail of Blood, Master Satan, The Dead, all pretty good songs. So definitely not a bad album at all, but does have to be at number 6, Murder. Adimiron Black comes in at number 5, came out in 1998, and this is their first album that shed pretty much all of the symphonic elements they had on their previous material. Basically just a straightforward, brutal, heavy black metal album. Looking at the track listing, 7 songs on it, a lot of great stuff. The opening track, The Killing Kind, one of their absolute best. Very heavy, awesome song. Deadlights, the title track, Devil's Work, Slowly Being Poisoned, Eater of the Dead, all good stuff. So a very solid album, Adimiron Black. Number 5. Next up at number 4, I'm going to go with First Spell. This is their EP from 1994 that a lot of fans kind of consider to be their debut album. It's 5 songs, 27 minutes, so might as well have been a full length, but 5 songs, a lot of good stuff. The Shivering Voice of the Ghost, the opening track, is awesome. Unearthly Love Palace, Angel Wings and Raven Claws, Conquering of the Hearser and Morning Star. And this one is symphonic black metal type of stuff, and I think that gets kind of a negative connotation amongst black metal fans because they hear symphonic and they think of like European power metal bullshit, but this is, when it's done right with black metal bands, still sounds very evil and dark and spooky, and this is a great example of that. Really awesome album, First Spell, number 4. Malice, Our Third Spell, comes in at number 3. Came out in 1996. Really good, consistent album here. 10 songs on it. A few favorites I'd say are Ad Arma, Manifestation, She Who Loves the Flames, and probably Touched and Left for Dead. The style of the album is pretty much like symphonic black metal, but it's also pretty chaotic and heavy at times. Just overall, really solid, cool album. Sarkana does the keyboards on it. I forgot to mention this before, but she does keyboards on the first few albums. But yeah, Malice, Our Third Spell, number 3. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Seen Through the Veils of Darkness, the second spell. Came out in 1995. Pretty similar style to Malice, Our Third Spell in 96. Both released right around the same time there. This one has 9 songs on it. A few favorites I'd say are the opener, Lord of the Flies for sure. The second song, which I will probably mispronounce here, but it is Sherik Kanum or something close to that, I think. Myth is a really cool song. Mystical Play of Shadows as well, but very solid start to finish here. The songs are just so well put together and composed with the whole symphonic thing, the way they put that stuff in there with the keyboards and all that. Very cool, awesome stuff. Yes, number 2, Seen Through the Veils of Darkness, the second spell. And taking the number 1 spot is WW. Came out in 2005. Really great album from start to finish. A lot of awesome riffs, very heavy. The drumming is amazing and extremely powerful. Their only album to feature Frost on the drums. The guy's a freaking machine. He's best known from being in Satyricon in 1349. One of the best drummers of all time. You can definitely hear that on this album. 9 songs on it. A few favorites I'd say are Grenade Prayer, Death to Them All, and New Blood. But very consistent start to finish. And that does wrap up the ranking. WW, my number 1 Gehenna album. And this band is just really great. Highly recommend to go check them out if you're not familiar with them. And until next time, thank you for watching.